What is going on YouTube? It is ZDB Shoes here, back for yet another video. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about replica sneaker terminology and some of the things you might want to be looking for when you're in the Rep Sneakers subreddit, or when you're talking to a seller about replica sneakers, or when you're just basically talking to anyone online about replica sneakers. So I'm going to go over some of those terms, what they mean, and when to look for those. So let's just go ahead and jump into that, guys, right after this. We're going to be going over some replica sneaker terminology. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing is going to be QC. And QC stands for quality control or quality check. And what that means is, and this can also apply to normal sneakers, it basically means the person will usually post, like on a subreddit or in a conversation, they'll post a picture of some shoes that they have, and they're asking for other users who maybe know what the shoe should look like to check the quality of them, see if the quality is up to standards, see if they look like a legit shoe. And like I said, people use this for actual legit shoes as well, just to see how the factory quality is on them, because a lot of people in the subreddit, or a lot of people that they're talking to, might know what like a good quality shoe looks like that might have come out of that batch. So a lot of time people might not be looking for a legit check, they might be looking for a quality check, like, hey, how close to, you know, like a perfect pair of this shoe does this look like? So on the flip side of that, I just mentioned it a little bit, is LC. And LC means legit check. So that usually means when you're trading with someone, or when you're dealing with someone and you actually decide that you want a real pair, you maybe get pictures from them, or you go to them and you take some pictures, and then you ask other people for a legit check. You see this happen on the subreddit a lot. People in the replica sneaker community are so good at auditing shoes and looking at knowing what they should actually look like, that they'll actually ask the replica community for a legit check to make sure that shoes that they think are actually legit are legit. And a lot of times the replica community is really good on this, because they're always looking at certain replicas to see if they are a one-to-one match with actual shoes. So yeah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people get legit checks, and it's a really good thing, and it's helped a lot of people stay away from bad deals or faulty scammers and things like that. So moving on from kind of the legit check, quality check thing, is RL and GL. And these are just red light and green light. And that's basically when somebody gets a legit check or somebody gets a quality check, certain users will comment on the pictures or comment on the post and say RL for red light and GL for green light. And green light basically just means go ahead and buy it, like it looks good, it looks legit, or it looks one-to-one. Red light means obviously don't buy it. And this is just like a lot shorter way for basically explaining that, oh, this looks fake or this looks real or whatever. A lot of times if people say RL or GL, they will go ahead and explain their reasoning for it. So that's really helpful. But yeah, that's just super simple. Red light, green light, buy it, don't buy it. So moving on, I've mentioned one-to-one a lot, and that is a term that is used a lot in the replica sneaker community. Basically, the gold standard of replica sneakers is going to be a batch that is one-to-one, or looks just like the original shoe. Now, it's kind of hard to find one-to-one batches, but it's kind of like a frame of reference a lot of people use to compare different replica sneakers. So there's other versions. Obviously, a lot of sellers have like lower value versions and higher value versions of the replicas. Replicas are getting so big today that a lot of sellers strive to get as close as they can to this one-to-one quality, which is driving up the price of replica sneakers. It's just the nature of the market, and that's how things are going. One-to-one is a very used term these days. If you ever do a legit check or quality check, people will basically say, oh, this part of the shoe looks one-to-one, this part looks a little bit off. So if you ever ask for that and you see that term, that's just what it means. So the next thing is W2C. and that is short for where to cop or want to cop. And that basically means when people post that, or when people ask for that, they're asking for a link to buy the shoes that you might be posting, or they'll list a certain shoe and say they want the W2C. It basically just means they want the link to where to buy the shoe. You know, you might also see this when somebody posts a shoe that they just bought, basically showing it off, and then they'll leave the link below. They'll say W2C, here's the link to buy it. So that's basically just what that means, just giving each other a heads up on where to buy a certain shoe, if you recommend it, or if you're looking for a good close to one-to-one version of a shoe, you can post on the subreddit or post somewhere and say, I need a W2C for this model of shoe, and usually somebody will hit you back with a good batch or a good shoe that they bought recently that they've given the green light to. So my next and final term, this term is not used a lot. It's probably used more in, you know, real sneaker communities, non-replica sneakers, but I figured I'd throw it in anyway because you do see it occasionally, and that's FSFT. Basically it just means for sale, for trade. So pretty much self-explanatory there. If you have a replica or a real sneaker that you want to sell or trade, you can post it on a subreddit or post it somewhere. On the Rep Sneakers subreddit, it's not seen very often. I know I've seen it in plenty of Facebook groups though. And that's another thing that I wanted to touch on. If you guys aren't familiar with this Rep Sneakers subreddit that I've been mentioning, I talk about it a little bit in my other video about my tutorial how to buy sneakers step by step. So if you have any questions on that, just go watch that video. I'll show you the subreddit, how to get in there, how to find shoes, things like that. If you have any questions on how to actually buy replica sneakers, definitely go watch that video. It's really helpful. It takes you basically step by step and shows you how to buy the shoes. If you ever have any questions, let me know, send me a comment or something like that. And I do want to be clear that I am not recommending you buy these shoes. I'm not endorsing this. Just take my advice on this and use it as you wish. I'm not giving you any explicit advice or guidance on what to do or what not to do. I'm just offering you my experience. But anyway, guys, after that little tangent, I think that pretty much wraps up the video. If there's any terms that you guys see that you think I didn't cover, or you have any questions about, just let me know. Send me a comment, send me a DM on Instagram. I have my Instagram linked below. And yeah, guys, let me know if you want more replica content or more real sneaker content, mystery boxes, stuff like that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be hitting you back with some content soon. All right, guys, peace.